I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
Well, thank you for reaching out.
I wanted to talk to you about the recording process this time. Were there any changes this time?
Yeah, well, kind of like so we decided to use different studios. Before we used the Blackout Studios, which was the studio of our former bass player and guitar player, and this time we decided to use the Hive Studio in London, which is close by to our drummer and guitar player's place, and then do the mix in Milano with our live sound engineer. Um, we thought to give that rough edge that we have during our live performances, using our live sound guy was the best thing uh, we could do, and nobody knows the band how the band should sound like better than him.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
and yeah, besides that, of course, we have a new guitar player.
Mhm.
So we know each other for years, but playing together was something new. So it was a whole different process. And everything went so smooth that it's ridiculous.
That's great.
Like we played together for forever. So it was a very, very spontaneous, um, hard in a way, like to channel those energies.
Mhm.
But in a way, easy because we were all on the same page. So that makes things very, very different.
And the sound has changed with the band as well with the changes. You guys sound stronger than ever, my friends.
No, thank you. With this album, that's what we decided, if I can use that word.
Mhm.
Like, let's fuck it.
Yeah,
We're gonna do what comes out. No, there was not a lot of thoughts, if I would say, and absolutely no concession. I said that in almost every interview because I want to really nail that point. Like in the past, like even when you play in the same band, it's already hard. When
sure.
people have different views, it's harder. Here it was like all on the same page, and we said like, "Fuck it, we'll just
Hmm.
do what comes out." You know,
Sure.
it was a real translation of the lyrical concept for sure, but it was almost dictated to us what we were doing. It's like, fuck it, it came out, and it was like that tsunami, like that magic that came over us. So yeah, totally different.
I wanted to ask you if you could speak on my favorite track, which is Chrysalid.
Oh, Chrysalid, what do you want me to say? Like musically or lyric wise or?
Um, I wanted to ask how the initial riffs came to you and also what the song is about.
Well, the song is about of course, like most of the album is it's a whole concept about the transformation,
Hmm.
about rising from desolation to the highest peaks. This song particularly is the chapter where obviously you're in that chrysalid, that's a kind of a mental state and physical state as well. The moment of decision when everything is when you're gonna burst out of that cocoon of thoughts and of reflection. Everything that you build in during those years are finally showing up. Like, and the song had to reflect that. So when TK also received the lyrics, he just with the mentor, the drummer,
Hmm.
they just went into the rehearsal room. I was not there. I didn't want to have any input in that for some reason. I wanted to see what they would come up with, and the result was more than what I expected. It was really that their interpretation of the lyrics, and when I explained to them a bit more in depth what it meant for me, and that process, and so they came up with that song, and I was like, wow, okay, that's now I have to put the vocals on that. and it was interesting process as well, just for that song. So it was like putting myself back in that moment of
Hmm.
transformation, and in the studio, well, I exploded, literally. So I think that was actually the last song I actually recorded on vocals, and I gave it my
Wow,
all on some parts. Like I was like, because they were like, try to manage your voice, man. So like, it's the last one. Fuck it.
you're
So I
right.
gave literally everything I had left after days of recording, in that one. So
And how did the video go for you? And what was the location you used for your video?
actually it's Switzerland, but everything was retranscribed by Christoph Iosaros
Mhm.
within Unreal Engine 5. Uh, so it were months of painstaking work to make that video clip. Like that poor guy worked relentlessly for 3 months, from morning till evening, every
Wow.
single day. Um, did all the scannings, like the mapping, and putting my face, my person in that element. I worked in relationship with him to create those staves that you see, and
Mhm.
those symbolics that you see in the video clips. And he retranscribed that and recreated that in that world absolutely flawlessly. It's something different. Like not a lot of I don't even think like any black metal band used those techniques to make a video clip or visuals before. So it was another aspect of crafting that we were interested to explore for this album. As every aspect, I'm sorry, every aspect of the release is handcrafted. We insisted on that. That was the whole point of the beginning. So from the booklet, from each designs, from video clip, everything, we wanted everything to be crafted, nothing generated, nothing easy way. So we have like the ancestral ways, like the artwork, like done really like techniques from 16th century and before, and the most modern handcrafting technique for the video clip. So we went on that big spectrum, wanted to explore all those purely artistic, human artistic elements.
Sure. And speaking of artistic elements, this is the most unique album cover that you've had in your career.
Thank you. That we contacted Jose, the guy who, the artist, like because we were already really uh, fans of his work. Um, we came to know his work with books that we bought, like that we possessed, some of us, and because he's illustrator for mostly occult books or historical books. So we saw that we thought like maybe let's contact him. Like until now we were doing our artworks ourselves.
Hmm.
So we were adopting between doing that again or asking Denis Forcas as well from which is an amazing artist. And then we saw the work of Jose, and we were like, let's contact him, see what turns out. And yeah, we talked with him and sent him the lyrics and gave him complete freedom on the artwork and just one or two key points. And what he came up with was absolutely breathtaking. So,
I wanted to ask you as well, what's the next step for you? Will you take to the road?
yeah, like we have a few shows planned in Europe and working on some things for uh, maybe Central America and South America. We'll see how things go. So US are going to be really difficult. It's the same problem for every band these days.
Sure.
So like we'll see how that goes. But at the moment we have shows that we cover Europe. We're working on some shows, like I said, Central America, maybe some date in Asia. So we'll see how things are going.
Yeah, we'll call the problem Donald for now.
Well, things are not being easy for US fans for sure. Like
Sure.
the same for the merchandising. Like we cannot sell anything. We receive daily demands from US fans asking about merchandising and everything. So we put it. I made a deal with Season of Mist USA, so they sell our merch for the American metal fans or fans. Like, but we cannot sell anything anymore from here, from Europe, to you guys, because every time I sold something, it costed an arm, it did cost an arm and a leg, and then it came back to me in the mailbox, just refused by U.S. Customs. So yeah, it's a weird, strange times we're living in.
Yes. I wanted to ask you if you could take me back in time and tell me how your musical career started. At what age did you begin?
Oh shit, that's a long time ago. Like, first band ever. I'm not gonna call that very serious. What I was like about 12, 13, something like that. Then I had another band that could play some shows and everything when I was around 14. Was that band called Herasia? Kind of blend of really old school black metal. We called ourselves black metal then, but
Mhm.
by today's standards would be more like old school thrash, you
Okay.
know. Then I moved on to a death metal band. Uh, that was a bit of a weird situation. Like we signed a deal with Massacre Records, and but those guys, I don't know what they did. Like when they recorded the album, I came back. I came in the studio to record the vocals, and the whole musical style changed. Like it was the same songs, but they changed the style. So the
Wow.
label didn't want the album anymore. So I said, like, fuck it, guys. And then I joined Enthroned. Then so until today. So
And you've had such an amazing career, and the band has just thrived throughout the years, and it's only gotten better throughout. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the proudest moments you've had in your career?
well, without any doubt, the first album I recorded with the band,
Mhm.
that was a one hell of a milestone. And well, I would say like it's hard to pinpoint other elements because every single moment have their special or specific. Um, it's a specific memory, a specific souvenir.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say like lately, as of late, I'm not gonna say the last album because it's although I'm really proud of it, but it's to have these guys with me in this band now. Like we reduced the band from a quintet to a trio again, and that makes things way easier. Like
Mhm.
like and having those guys, it's like the whole unholy trinity.
Sure.
Like like we are really on the same page for most of the things, and that was my proudest moment to have TKOS joining the band and recording that album all together. So as of late, I would say that.
And
When it
it's
comes to Enthroned and musical career.
sure. And I wanted to ask you, your your songwriting is amazing. I wanted to ask you, what are some of your influences that influence your lyrics?
For the lyrics, it's a simply life. I would just put it like this. Um, I mostly refer to my own experiences in life. Like the last
Mhm.
album, just a pure transcription of a situation that happened to me like about 7, 8 years ago.
Mhm.
And I think that's important for me personally.
Sure.
It's cool to have some bands like when they're doing their fantasy things, when it may be about demons, Satan, knights, or trolls, or whatever they want to call it. You know, Uh, but I prefer to base myself on a truthful element. I'm considering myself a Satanist or occultist my whole entire life. I practiced. I study the arts and the currents and etc. I'm not going into too many details when it comes to that because it's very personal. But when
Sure,
it comes to for the lyrics, all is based on truth, on things that I experienced or the other band members experienced. These are of way more impact than anything that suppositions or phantasms that a lot of people in that branch would express themselves with. Like it reality bypass the fiction by far, and I prefer to talk about things that I lived and can recreate those emotions live
sure,
and be completely honest about what I'm talking about, then rather than going fantasy and pretend. Now, if it's something that is clear from the beginning that it's fantasy, good for the people who are doing that. Total respect. But
sure,
when it comes to black metal, there's too many people pretending things, and that's not something for me. I leave that
sure.
to them.
I wanted to ask you and getting back to the album, were there any tracks that didn't make the album that will be on a future release?
No, there was nearly one song that didn't make it. This was a assertion,
Mm,
but it did in the end on the as a bonus track for the CD for the Digipack CD. The album was a bit too long to be featured on vinyl, and making two vinyls for one song, it was a bit nah. So we decided to include it as a bonus track for the limited edition CD. Of course, there were other songs that we composed and wrote during that period that didn't make it, but we're not going to use them simply because they don't represent really what we wanted to express.
sure.
And yeah, let's say we were not satisfied with them. So yeah, in total, since the last album, we probably composed three full length in
Wow.
total. But yeah, like you know how it goes. Like some people left the band, they took some of their songs with them. Um, some others they said like, "I know you can keep them," but we didn't see the point either of keeping songs that we don't feel connected with.
Sure.
It didn't represent the band how it was, how it is today. So we scrapped everything and started from scratch. So yeah.
And I wanted to ask you as well, if you could give any message to your fans, what message would you give them?
Well, if you have the opportunity to check us live, do it. That's it's going to be rarer and rarer these days, even for Europeans. Like we decided that we would take not a break, but to play only selected shows now, like quality over quantities.
Mm,
And the scene is not really representative anymore of what we feel,
mm,
how how we were raised, where our allegiance lies. We are more like those traditionalists. We still belong to that '90s scene. So it's a bit, yeah. We're gonna play selected shows from now on. Let's put
mm.
it that way. So come and check us out in there. And one advice for the new album: uh, check the lyrics while listening to the album, and it makes more sense. It's not an easy album. That we are conscious of it, and it was never the point to be.
Sure.
But when you have the lyrics, it makes way more sense, and it's a way more kind of comprehensible. You can make your own thing of it. So yeah,
Well, I wanted to take a moment to thank you personally for taking time to speak with me. I've been a fan of your music for a very long time, my friend, and I always look forward to what lies ahead for you. And I think
well,
this
thank
album
you.
is a kick-ass album from top to bottom. I love the energy of this album. It drives all the way through.
Well, thank you very much. That's I can say that it's probably the most intense album we ever did, to be honest. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the final result.
Well, thank you again for taking time to speak with me. It's an absolute pleasure speaking and meeting you today.
Likewise, thank you for reaching out, man.
All right, you take care and enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Cheers.
Cheers.